and backed up their outstanding start to this 2018 season. The Red Sox offense was relentless as they pounded out 7 runs for a Game 1 victory. Tonight, Sean Manaea will try and tame the Sox as he is off to a great start himself this season. The ace of the Boston staff, Chris Sale, will counter Manaea in a matchup on the mound. A couple of lefties do battle. A's, Red Sox, next. It's a beautiful Saturday night for baseball in Oakland. We're at the Coliseum. Can anybody slow down the red-hot Red Sox? We'll find out. We got a good pitching matchup, Sale and Manaea. A's and the Red Sox coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Sean Manaea gets to start tonight. He's really stepped up and become the leader of this rotation, Ray. He's been terrific in all 4 of his starts so far.
You know, Kuip, I think every time Sean Manaea takes the mound, the A's expect to win the game. He works quickly. The defense are on their toes. He's made 4 starts. Every game that he's pitched has been under 3 hours. He's doing everything correctly, and I think the biggest thing about him, as we'll talk about throughout the ball game, he's not throwing a lot of pitches per batter. He's getting some sort of a result in a minimal number of pitches, and I think as a result, the games are quicker, they're sharper, and all you need to do is score him some runs. He's got a chance to win a lot of ball games.
Now the Red Sox will counter with really one of the best pitchers in all of the game, the left-hander Chris Sale. For more on him, let's go down to Dallas. Braden Dallas, this guy's only 29 years old.
And he is slicing and dicing with the best one. We know about the start that the red-hot Red Sox have gotten off to, that juggernaut of an offense, but this pitching staff spearheaded by this man, Chris Sale. He enters tonight on a 4-game streak in which he has not allowed more than 1 earned run. Now, he's done that 5 separate times over the course of his career, but never to start a season like he has in 2018. 12.7 Ks per 9, guys. He is absolutely dominant right now.
All right, so Sale and Manaea is your pitching matchup, and see if the A's can break the Red Sox 8-game winning streak. It's Scout Day at the ballpark. Youngsters having a good time, and we're looking for a good night of baseball. A's, Red Sox coming up.
Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
Here come the Athletics as we are set for game 2 of this 3-game series. Red Sox won last night 7-3. Got a couple of big home runs. See what happens tonight. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. Very nice. 73 degrees, a little breezy tonight as we start an hour earlier, which the A's do a lot on Saturday evenings.
Usually fireworks, but tonight we hope the fireworks are the A's bats.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Boston Red Sox. It's a good one. Betts, Benintendi, Ramirez, J.D. Martinez is in there. He had the night off last night. He'll DH. Nunez, Devers, Leon, Bradley, and Zue Lin. He was playing shortstop tonight.
It is Sean Manaea taking the mound. I guess the good news for Sean that he's pitching tonight against the Red Sox here at the Coliseum, because when he's pitched against Boston at Fenway, he has not fared well. So let's hope that is the case. And remember, the A's only faced the Red Sox once here, once back in Boston. And for Sean Manaea, looking for win number 3, very low, respectable earned run average, scoring some runs.
Defensively, the A's will have Pinder left, Canna in center, Piscotty in right. Chapman, Semien on the left side of the diamond, Lowry, Olsen on the right side, and Lucroy is the catcher. So we're set for baseball as Mookie Betts steps in. Sean Manaea has finished his warm-up tosses, and the big left-hander's ready to go. He's off to a terrific start with that 1.63 ERA. And the first pitch of the game just a bit low. 6:07 first pitch, Pacific time. Mookie Betts, terrific start for Betts. That's Hunter Wendelstedt. He is calling balls and strikes. Adrian Johnson at first, Tripp Gibson at second. That's Brian Gorman. He's the crew chief. He's down at third. 2-0 to Betts. This is a matchup to watch for tonight. Betts against Manaea in his career, 4 for 8 with 2 homers and a triple.
Yeah, had a leadoff home run against Sean Manaea. Of course, that was at Fenway Park.
And now it's 2-2.
That's a good slider. That's a pitch that is a good one for Sean Manaea. First 2 missed way outside, then he got a strike, and then comes back with a slider. Down and in, and you can see that you're going to see a lot of these from both pitchers tonight. A lot of hard sliders down and in, and a very effective pitch for both Sale and Manaea.
That would weigh in on Betts.
Well, this is Mookie Betts, and this one at Fenway, and it in and over the Green Monster. The long hair of Sean Manaea, I think that's when he cut it. So that's it. And then again at Fenway, the Green Monster got him twice.
Just a touch outside, and it's a leadoff walk for Mookie Betts. Sean Manaea has made 3 career starts versus the Red Sox. The 2 in Boston, not good.
Yeah,
1 in Oakland, pretty good.
Yeah, you want to talk about those.
Yeah, the real bad one was on the 10th of May.
That's right.
In 2016, 8 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. We remember that.
That's when Betts got him and Ramirez got him. Last year late, that was in September. We were in 3 2/3, 11 hits, 7 earnings. So that's why inflated earned run average at Fenway. So he's pitching in Oakland, and let's see if that happens, can change and be effective here. It is a dominating lineup, and one, as we talked earlier, Cap, about the confidence this ball club has, and it's 1 through 9. It's not really a star every day. It's somebody different, it seems.
1-0 pitch to Benintendi, slowly toward Lowry, and Lowry's going to shuffle to second to get the lead out.
Well, that's called a no panic play by Jed Lowry.
And no panic, because you understand the runner. You understand, hey, this ball's coming at me. I've got 1 play to make here. I can get the lead runner. No need to worry about the double play being broken up. Semien's going to be able to corral this nice and easy. It's a good job to get the lead runner. Take away the speed on the bases.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
I know Jed was pointing up towards the sun because, as is the case here at the Coliseum for these early starts, you'll see the shadows out close and past the pitcher's mound. Right field will be in the sun more than anybody as late in the game.
Here's Hanley Ramirez. He is playing first base tonight, and he'll get a little bit of time at first base, mostly DH.
Well, if you keep Babe Moreland out of the lineup, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, that's the situation with the Red Sox. Of course, they have the great young outfield.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really leave a spot for J.D. Martinez. He has to DH most of the time. And that's also the spot that best fits Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox will make it work.
Well, I think one thing you have to think about is Hanley. We talk a lot about guys who just seem to do better or seem to get into the flow of the game more so when they are on the field, and Hanley is one of those individuals. Keep him busy over at first base. Let JD, there's no way he's competing for an outfield spot with those 3 center fielders they've got out there. So he's right at home in that DH spot. Let Hanley take the first.
Ramirez swings and misses 1-2.
Well, Manaea, the one thing that Scott Emerson said in his last start, great changeup, and there it is. And when you throw it and it looks like the fastball, and we always talk about the same slot, well, Sean Manaea's changeup has turned into be an outstanding pitch. So essentially, he's got the 2- and 4-seam fastball, the slider down and in, hard to the right-handers, hard also to the lefties. And changeup has been outstanding.
1-2 pitch down and away. Pitchcast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. So 2-2 the count with J.D. Martinez waiting in the on-deck circle. Ramirez has a couple of home runs in his career against Manaea. Swing and a miss. 92 miles an hour. So Manaea gets his first strikeout.
We talk about how important the fastball is, especially for Manaea, somebody who's going to utilize that pitch to pitch off of with the off speed. Got away with one as far as location is concerned here. I think the idea is Hanley's probably sitting on something a little softer and just got beat with velocity. See Luke reaching back across his plate.
Well, Cap, I think one thing we're seeing more and more, and you'd like to think that maybe it would benefit pitchers, the usage of the fastball. And like Dallas said, you know, it's a good pitch, but we're seeing so many great power hitters swinging and missing fastballs. And we're not talking 98, 99. We're talking about, in that case, at 92, 93 from Sean Manaea. And, you know, I think it's a pitch that maybe pitchers don't use enough because they want to fool guys. And if you're trying to fool them, maybe that's where you get yourself in trouble, because you hang a breaking ball, you hang a changeup, you know, you leave the pitch up. I mean, last night with Pagan, first pitch slider that was duck a tumbler that Moreland hit a grand slam. But if there's a reason, I think, when you see the scouting reports and you see a pitcher's fastball usage 50+%.
Doesn't seem like that's enough.
It doesn't, no. But I mean, there are a few that we have seen, very few, that have under 50%, which is very unusual. But I agree with you. I think it's a pitch that maybe could be more used. As Piscotty coming from the National League, and I always thought it's a National League challenge. Here's a 3-1, 3-2, 2-0. Here it comes, try to hit it. And it doesn't guarantee all the time that you're going to hit it 9 miles. I think we've seen too many, a lot of swing and misses.
And a fastball there at 92, and a couple of strikeouts for Sean Manaea. He gets Ramirez and Martinez. Chris Sale set to go to work.
fastball, slider, changeup. But he's max effort on every pitch, it seems. I don't know if there's ever a time that he will not throw hard, or at least seem like he's throwing 1,000 miles an hour.
There's that good young outfield. Benintendi, Bradley Betts, Devers, Lynn, Nunez, Ramirez. On the infield, Sandy Leone is the catcher. And there's Alex Cora. Can't do anything wrong right now.
Yep.
Red Sox Nation says, man, this guy's a good manager. He's a good manager. And he probably is.
Well, Joe Castiglione, a long-time Red Sox radio broadcaster, he said that it's Cora, Alex Cora, who says, today you're the chosen one. That chosen one means you get an off day. So, I mean, and he just goes around, and maybe J.D. Martinez last night, you're the chosen one.
Sure.
You know, and Mitch Moreland tonight, but who knows about tomorrow?
Best record through 19 games in a season. Big league history. Well, the Red Sox are second on that list. It is also for Boston the best 19-game start in their franchise history, obviously. So the A's from 1981 are on there. 17-2. They've won 8 games in a row. And now it's 2-2.
And that's not a fair pitch there. 87-mile changeup.
What was that?
I mean, it's max effort changeup at
It's like a Dallas Braden changeup.
87.
Huh?
Comes the fastball in.
See there, 95 miles an hour, 90, 92 early on, 95 late in the count, looking to put guys away. Take a look there. There's the usage, the pitch usage, 66% of the time. So you're going to get a heater. He's going to pitch off that.
Pop-up foul. So 66% fastballs, Ray. That's not bad.
And why not? You're throwing as hard as he does.
That's right.
I mean, he scares the living daylights out of him.
Well, and he's funky, too. That funky
Exactly,
delivery,
yeah.
I think, scares a lot of guys.
But you see him like this with no sleeves on. He does that when it's 20 degrees below zero. I mean, he does not like to come out and put sleeves on.
And I say this as a compliment as he walks Simeon, and I think you guys will know what I mean. He's ornery on the mound, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that helps him as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of elbows and kneecaps coming at you here. He's working from the third base side of the rubber. It's crossfire action across his body. Long, lanky levers. There's a lot to keep track of here. You're trying to pick up release point as a hitter. Very tough when you're dealing with all those extremities flying at you.
And he's the kind of guy, if he gives up a hit, he's mad.
Oh, yeah.
Again, Voss, you made the point about him not wanting to wear sleeves and wanting to be comfortable in his uniform. Well, we all remember how comfortable he wants to be in that uniform,
right.
to the tune of taking scissors to the uniform. No, we're not going throwbacks today, boys. Not on my watch.
So he ended up buying throwbacks for everybody.
That's right.
Missed again. Now it's 2-0 to Piscotty.
He got it, that pitch. That wasn't a... It's almost like he wanted to throw it for a strike and changed his delivery to do it. But, you know, we talk about Felix Hernandez a lot. That if you're going to get a pitcher, and Sale is in the category, if he struggles early, you better take advantage of it. Because if he settles down, and we've seen Felix do it forever, Sale is the same type.
And the reason these guys are so good is they do settle down.
Yes, they do.
So now it's 3-0. Lowry to follow. That walk to Simeon was just the 6th walk that Sale has allowed this year in 22 innings. That one's in first strike.
And if there's ever a day to be the chosen one, if you're a left-handed hitter, this is the day to be chosen.
Yep.
Because this guy's devastating. You can just see with his delivery and the mound area that you can see where he steps and how he throws across his body. Just picture a left-handed hitter in a lineup trying to face that.
There's a strike. So you're saying Sale-itis is the real deal?
Yeah. It's the real deal.
Brings you down.
There it is. See, here he's throwing here. That's across the body.
Wow.
And that's extreme. You see the discoloration in the mound. Clay Wood's excellent mound work.
2-pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw is high. And Simeon will have a stolen base, and there will be a strikeout on Piscotty.
They're still going to send him back and call it interference. think they're calling interference on. See what happens, because he's hit him with the bat. And they're going to send him back to first base. Bob Melvin's going to ask about it. I didn't see contact. Now maybe he got his hand, but still, I mean, I don't think you can penalize someone on a stolen base if the catcher gets hit in the hand in the follow through. He wasn't contact with the batter falling across the plate. See, Leon says he's talking about his hand.
Yeah, and guys, down here, I could hear the conversation between Bob and between the home plate umpire, and they're talking about that contact on the backswing is exactly what they were referencing.
Second baseman, number 8.
So it goes as a strikeout, and that's it.
When did he hit it? Must have been when he brought the bat back.
Yes.
When he brought it back, because initially on the swing he didn't hit it.
And I think that's what the skipper was questioning as well.
So Lowry steps up.
Well, and there is a difference, because if a catcher hits and the hitter falls across the plate, then that's interference. That's a double play. But if follow through makes contact, that's where they send the runner back to first base.
A little bit outside. Change up, 78 miles an hour. Lowry had 372. 6 home runs and 22 runs batted in.
And that's why you'd love to head Simeon in scoring position.
Yep.
As hot as Jed is.
Runner goes. Throw to second base, and it's not in time. This one trickles past Nunez. So Marcus Simeon was determined to get to second base.
Yeah, baby.
Well, he's going on first move. See the high leg kick. Sale, of course, makes up for it with his good velocity, his fastball. But when he lifts the leg, and he can only throw to the plate, and that makes it very easy for a runner to take off, and you know, whether he sees it or not, but it's a first move more than anything with somebody like Sale.
Lowry drives one toward left center field, and that's going to get down, and it's going to go to the wall, and it's going to drive home Marcus Simeon. It would be tough to be hotter than Jed Lowry is right now.
Absolutely.
He had 4 hits last night, including a couple of doubles, and he's got an RBI double tonight so far.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Jed, boys. It's continuing to roll. Hottest man on the planet right now. See Sale going with the changeup, trying to get back in the count. Jed Lowry does a tremendous job of keeping the hands back, staying soft on the front side. It's the same old story. Jed with a stand-up double.
You know, I said about scoring position, Simeon might have been in scoring position at first for that ball.
That's
I
right.
think he would have scored.
But yeah, I mean, you look at it being hot. That is hot.
Well, you know, Foss, you talk a lot about something, and I do. I find it very interesting, and I believe it as well. With the opportunities that Jed sees from the left side of the plate being more frequent than the right side, is there anything to Jed not seeing pitching from the left side as frequently, but being comfortable?
You know, the one thing he said when he hit the double off the wall against Diekman, he said it seemed like every time they turn you around, you do something. He said, I turn myself around, because he said, I don't see enough of the left-handed pitchers. Now he's got a chance to see 7 consecutive, and he can get comfortable. And I know in spring training there have been times that he had hoped the A's would face a lefty so he could take more swings batting from the right side during spring training.
Now there's a little chat going on here, and it is strike 3.
It is,
right?
yeah. Yeah, it is strike 3. And
Chris Davis stood there, and I don't know if he was chatting or...
Well, he was asking him, was that on the swing? Is that a call?
Either way, it is strike 3 call. I think it was called anyway.
Matt Chapman.
So a couple of strikeouts for Sale in the first. A's have a run. Now they'll try to get a 2-out hit from Chapman. Chapman takes a strike. So this is the Davis at bat.
Yeah.
Let's follow along. 1, 2, 3.
Last one up in the higher part of the strike zone, and maybe that was the question, whether it was low enough to be called a strike.
Foul ball, and it's 0-2. Chapman at 293, 5 home runs and 13 RBIs. Couple of doubles, a triple, 22 hits on the year. Trying to fight back in the count here, 0-2. That one was close, 96 miles an hour.
Sale thought he had it. Did not get the call from Hunter Wendelstedt. I don't know why, but see, that's what happened last night with Brian Gorman. He kind of fluctuated with the zone up above, whether they called it a strike sometime or not.
In the air to left field, Benintendi backs up, waits. He's got it, side retired. So Jed Lowry, another big hit, an RBI double off Chris Sale. So after one from the Coliseum, the A's lead the Red Sox 1-0. Red Sox last night, 7 runs on 11 hits. 3-run homer and a grand slam. That's what led to their 7 runs. Nunez hits it hard on one hop, backhanded by Simeon. Out number 1. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Batting in the 6th position, third baseman, number 11, Rafael.
Let's hope that Sean Manaea getting through the first inning and settling down. Of course, strikeouts back-to-back Ramirez and Martinez on good fastballs. But it was last night that Kendall Graveman got through the first inning and then gave up the 3 spot in the second.
Devers takes low. Devers with a base hit last night, 1 for 4, scored a run. He's off to a good start, 297. Free swinger, he will go out of the strike zone, but he has that rare ability to hit balls that are not strikes on the barrel of the bat.
Yep.
And he's aggressive early in the count as well. The ball he hit last night, down and out of the zone, aggressive on it early in the count. And if you're Sean Manaea, and Jonathan Lucroy, what this does now, knowing he's such a free swinger, gives you the ability to expand early in the count.
Especially if it's a hard slider.
And a good pitch there, and that is strikeout number 3 for Manaea.
That's what Graveman said last night. He could not believe Devers hit the ball that he did, but this is the slider that Sean Manaea needs to throw. Lefty on lefty, throw it hard. I always say that because if you're lefty and you're facing a lefty, and we're going to see Olson face Chris Sale in the next inning, but you don't ever want to throw it softly because they're bailing anyway. It's just a natural instinct. If you're lefty on lefty, you don't see that many, you're going to bail a little bit. And I guess if you're Moustakas or Gordon.
There's the ranks for Sean Manaea so far. His ERA is 10th best in the league. Simeon out. Lets everybody know he's got it. And that's an 8-pitch inning for Sean Manaea. Bottom of the second coming up. 1-0 A's.
America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Beautiful night in Oakland. A's leading the Red Sox 1-0. Sale and Manaea.
He could be sailing right there, man.
That looked nice.
Docks of the bay.
It's a clear night. Olson to lead it off, followed by Canna and Pinder here in the second inning.
Let's show this shift. You got Matt Olson facing Chris Sale, and they're thinking he's going to pull the ball to the right side. I don't know that he could pull it if he tried. I mean, that's pretty hard if Sale is throwing his best, which he usually is. So we'll see if the shift works in the favor of the Red Sox.
Outside.
Matt Olson, the lone left-handed hitter, true lefty in the lineup against the hard-throwing Chris Sale. And I think you could understand why. There's a shift with only Devers. Hey, hit right into it. Maybe the key was to get behind and let him pull the fastball.
Well, a special moment. It started this past off-season. Remember the young man Lawrence Smith and his family who lost their home up in Santa Rosa during the North Bay fires, and the A's found out that this young man, there he is, Lawrence Smith, well, he's a big A's fan. He had lots of A's memorabilia, and he lost it all, unfortunately, in the fire. Well, the A's went up there, see Dave Cavill, and they reloaded him, man. He got all the goodies that he needed, and he was psyched. And you know who threw out the first pitch tonight?
Absolutely.
Lawrence Smith. So he was a big A's fan before. Now, I think he's locked in. So the A's
That's great.
Replaced everything and gave him a bunch more stuff.
And you know, that's one thing about A's president Dave Cavill, and you know, the people will suggest to do things and he listens. And you know, here's Harvey the Rabbit brought out a baseball for him. He's wearing number 26. It's pretty good.
That is good. Well, we're glad he's here.
Yeah, that's right.
We hope he and his family have a wonderful time. Well, it was tough stuff for good people up in the North Bay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, Johnny Gomes, as we mentioned last night, I mean, he took his big truck up and he was helping people out and from Petaluma, and you know, definitely giving back. And the truck that he has is huge, man.
He could have fit a few things.
He can haul out anybody and everything.
1-2 the count to Canna.
Johnny back with Dave O'Brien tonight. Johnny on the TV side.
We had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Gomer before the game. Did a nice little interview with him, and he mentioned the community and the surrounding communities.
It's the catcher Leone who gets out there and he makes the catch.
He mentioned the devastation, but he talked about the communities, and he said, you know, if you still have a home, you now have somebody in your neighborhood in your home with you.
Yeah.
And everybody has done a tremendous job of banding together and taking care of each other's needs. And I think that's very emblematic of the Bay Area, Northern California, and the people that make up this fine community.
Yeah.
So 2 away, and here's Chad Pinder. A little bit inside. Small sample size for Pinder against Sale, but it has not been great. 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. Hits that one hard into the glove of Jackie Bradley. Side retired. So Sale settles down, has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We are headed to the 3rd.
That's news and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Top of the 3rd, Jackie Bradley, Zoe Lynn, and Mookie Betts against Sean Manaea, who's got 3 strikeouts. Bradley had that 3-run home run last night that quickly tied the game.
Well, I asked both Jonathan Lucroy about this as well as Kendall Graveman. When Jonathan Lucroy did the up, he wanted a fastball up and in. Kendall Graveman said, unfortunately, the 4-seam fastball came back like a 2-seamer and ended up right in the hitting zone. And Jackie Bradley Jr. did not miss.
Second home run of the year.
It's what happens, unfortunately. Righty to a lefty trying to go inside. It's just a reaction, and Bradley Jr. reacted last night on the pitch, and unfortunately for the A's, it turned out to be a big 3-run home run to tie it.
You know, one thing I like about the pitch selection, though, is it's a four-seam fastball, and that's something that Kendall has been working on. That's something that Lucroy has talked to him about as well. And it's just a matter of execution, and I think that's been the biggest. That's been the issue for me as a bystander here, sitting where I'm sitting for Kendall night in and night out. Has just been, it's a few pitches here or there as far as execution is concerned. And I talked about his mental approach. The mindset is there. He has an understanding of what he wants to do. It's just about putting it together.
And another strikeout for Manaea. That is number 4.
And we talk about that big home run from Jackie Bradley, but after the fact, guys, he started to settle down. He started to cruise. I believe at one point retired 11 straight, was really able to get into a groove. He started executing, as we talked about, moving the fastball in and out, up and down, was able to tie guys up on the inside part of the plate. And that really is what you see out of Kendall Graveman when he's going good, when he's executing and finishing pitches out front.
Well, and he also has to realize that while he really gave up the 3-run home run and put the 3 runners on base, turned out Odell score with a slam, but he's a ground ball pitcher. He got ground balls. Several went through the infield into the outfield, but they could have very easily been outs at one of the infielders.
And you know what makes baseball so tough? I mean, baseball is very heavy on statistics, and Kendall Graveman, as we just showed you, he threw the ball okay last night. I mean, there was improvement, but unfortunately, statistically, it doesn't look good because 3 of the runs scored on the home run, they were all his, and I think a player is aware of statistics.
Well, absolutely. We talk about the scoreboard all the time.
Yeah, it's
especially
the
early in the
tough
season.
part about baseball is that he did throw the ball fairly well. I mean, Dallas, I mean, you were aware of what your record was and where your ERA was as the season went on, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, because early on you're setting personal goals. You know, I want to get to the 200 inning mark. I want to have a 3 ERA or below. And there's certain things that you set in place for yourself. So when you take your lumps and you take one on the chin and you go back to the drawing board, there's no doubt that those numbers are right in your face. And as Foss mentioned, you show up to the ballpark early in the first month. These bright new jumbotrons are telling everybody and their mom just how bad you're going right now.
Right on the outside corner, Lynn strikes out, 2 away.
See, he threw him a steady diet of sliders, fastball up, and then a fastball that froze him in the outside part of the corner of the plate. And this is what makes him so good, and really a lot of fun for Jonathan Lucroy to catch him, because he's able to utilize all of his pitches and just froze with a fastball outside corner.
Top of the order, and Mookie Betts. Betts walked in the first inning. First pitch off speed, a bit high. Betts was 1 for 4 last night. He scored a run. Sitting on a little 4-game hitting streak where he's 8 for 17. And Mookie Betts very aggressive. He attacks the baseball.
Yeah, Cap, one of the things about catching somebody like Manaea for Jonathan Lucroy tonight, hitting is almost secondary. You know, you're trying to get this pitcher through a tough lineup, try to utilize all of his pitches. And you get to the point where you go to the plate, you go, okay, who's coming up next inning? What do I have to do to try to make my pitcher successful? And that at times is taken away from a catcher, a lost art in the sense of being actually a catcher to handle a pitching staff.
Up the middle. Lowry's got it. Lowry's got to hurry, and they throw up Betts. So another good inning for Sean Manaea. We're on to the bottom of the 3rd. Lucroy will lead it off.
25th against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Enjoy Oakland's best fireworks with a Star Wars twist. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars to get started. And there's no fireworks better than right here at the Coliseum. And always a nice theme, and this happens to be the Star Wars and Matt Olson. That's a pretty special game.
Here's Luke Croy, first at bat tonight, hitting .268. He's got 4 RBIs.
You know what happens on the Saturday right after that fireworks?
What's
on
that?
The 26th. That's the celebration of the 72, 73, 74 world champion Oakland Athletics. And
Heard about those guys, yeah.
50th anniversary, so that's going to be the special day with many of the players coming back from those 3 consecutive championships.
Some decent players on those squads. Good players.
Yeah, nice group. We know who the glue was, though, Dallas. We know who the glue was of those teams.
That's right.
That's why his nickname is Elmer. Ray Fosse was the glue.
Yeah.
Elmer. Come on, that team doesn't win without Fosse.
Yeah, right.
No chance.
Yeah.
Luke Croy strikes out.
Well, Foss mentioned about, the mindset. You might be up there at the plate sometimes worried about what's going on. Well, you got a lefty like Chris Sale out here pumping 96, 97. These wipeout sliders, Luke Croy just unable to get barrel to ball. Tough customer in Chris Sale.
Well, Ray said we got to get to him early.
That's it. Because he's angry right now. That man's angry. He gave up a run in the first inning.
He's angrier than normal.
That's right.
An early run.
Well, and all the more reason, and Kat, you've heard me say this a number of times, that you're facing the best pitchers. Your pitcher has to do his job and try to get the pitch count up, which is always something that factors into a start. And
Pop-up foul.
And I say always because when you get to 100, that's kind of the magic.
These are numbers since 2012. Major league ranks for Chris Sale. 4th in wins, 3rd in innings pitched. No surprise, 2nd in strikeouts. In fact, last year alone, his season last year was ridiculous. 17-8, 2.90 ERA. Those are great numbers. Hanley Ramirez hustling over. He's not going to get it. But here's where it gets crazy, you guys. 214 innings pitched for Sale last year. 308 strikeouts. You do not see guys in this day and age get to 300 strikeouts.
No, absolutely not.
2nd most ever in Red Sox history. Pedro 313 in 1999.
How many innings did you say?
214.
Okay, you add another 86 to that, you go 300 innings. Just think how many more strikeouts he would have had.
Yeah, he'd have over 400.
I mean, guys in a 4-man rotation were happy to get to 300 strikeouts. And here's a guy doing it in a 5-man rotation.
When you think about pitch counts and everything that you talk about, Foss, as well, and not being able in this day and age to get deep into ball games.
That went down and in. Most strikeouts since 2012. Scherzer, Sale, Kershaw, Verlander, Kluber.
How would you like to be a hitter and have to face that rotation? Woo. Oh, man. I mean, seriously. And you got the devastating slider from Max Scherzer.
Oh. Simeon rips one toward left center field. That'll get down for a hit. See if he goes for 2. And he's going to put the brakes on. And probably a good idea.
Well, maybe he's thinking he could steal it anyway to get the scoring position. It'd be the great Ricky Henderson. Ricky say, if I get a single, it's like a double because I'm going to at least steal 2nd. But this is kind of predictable. And I say it a little bit because Chris Sale does not seem to want to throw that devastating fastball. So he throws a changeup, speeds up the bat of Marcus Semien. Good job of Benintendi to go and cut the ball off because Semien's thinking to, and decided to get back to first base.
Well, that is the 2nd hit for the A's.
But, his changeup is like a normal guy's fastball, velocity-wise, and really kind of helps speed up the bat a little bit.
So he needs to have it some sinking action or tailing away from right-handed hitters.
Or why not challenge guys? I mean, if you got the fastball, and you see guys gear up, and I think what happens when you gear up for a fastball, you change your whole style, and that's why Jed is such a great hitter because he doesn't change anything he does. But you're thinking, all right, this guy throws a 96, 98 fastball. I got to dial it up a little bit. So it kind of changes the whole approach as a hitter whenever a pitcher's throwing that hard.
0-2 to Piscotty, who struck out in the first.
See right here, I think this where a right-hander has to worry about the slider, because it's such a good one going to the back foot, and you swing at it thinking it's a fastball, and then all of a sudden it just drops out of sight.
That's a good pitch, and Piscotty with a good take.
Trying to go towards that back foot, as you mentioned, Foss. Trying to get the swing over by Piscotty. You're doing a lot of work inside. I talk about tunneling pitches off of one another, trying to tunnel that slider off of the same release point as that fastball.
Piscotty drives one. Right center, Betts on the move, and he can't get it. It goes to the wall. Simeon hits the bag at third. They're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-0 A's. Well, if Mookie Betts doesn't catch it, nobody's
Thank you.
going to catch it.
Well, and you're right, because once it got past him, and you know the previous pitch, the slider, and the thing that Stephen Piscotty says he does not really change. He thinks fastball, and then tries to make an adjustment. So this pitch, though, he doesn't try to pull it. He goes with it, and that's what we've seen from Piscotty. Is Marcus Semien had to hold up, thinking, to your point, Kat, that Betts was going to catch the ball, could not throw offline. Chris Sale got lucky that the ball was caught by Leon, because he wasn't backing up. He was kind of, what are they doing? They're hitting me. But he was between the mound and home plate. Fortunately, Leon came off the plate, but once the ball got by, the always aggressive Matt Williams sending Marcus Semien with tremendous speed, and Stephen Piscotty with an opposite field double. You can hear everybody in Pleasanton right now just standing and screaming and yelling.
0-1 to Lowry. Piscotty gets his 12th RBI. And 1-1 the count.
Those are pretty good numbers against a very good pitcher. Cap, I know you remember when JD Josh Donaldson was here, the A's faced Chris Sale twice in the same season, and that was in 2013. June the 2nd, June the 7th, home and away. He won a game and hit a grand slam to the opposite field against Sale in Chicago.
Yep, I remember the one in Chicago.
Exactly.
It was late, and it gave the A's the lead, if I remember correctly.
That's right. It was a 4-3 win. He went 7 1/3, and the grand slam beat him. And also JD drove in a couple of runs in the game here.
1-2 pitch, foul tip. That's a strikeout.
What was the pitch?
The old fastball.
Remember, Jet had a changeup last inning, or his first at bat. Went upstairs with a fastball at 96. That's a tough pitch for any hitter not to swing at, even as hot as Jed Lowry is.
So Chris Davis will hit. Try to knock in a run. There's that little slider, and it bends around the plate, but called a strike. That's a tough pitch to even swing at. Never looks like a strike, and it may not have been a strike.
Yeah, if you go backdoor lefty to a right and you're throwing a harder slider like that, and that's why Andrew Triggs was so successful against the Angels, because his two-seamer to the right-hander started outside and came back, and they froze them.
Swing, gonna miss. So 0-2 to Davis. Davis 2 for 12 in his career against Chris Sale. That time pitch just a little high, and Davis checked his swing.
According to that box, That was the same pitch that he was called out in the first inning, that he questioned the call from Hunter Wentelstedt, but it seemed like almost you could lay a napkin over it. Same spot.
Piscotty with the lead at second. In the dirt. Leon blocks it.
I think what happened was, but Piscotty, which really is a good hitter. Remember that he threw the slider down and in and he took. Came back with a fastball. Here's going to be the critical pitch now to Chris Davis. Does he go back to the same slider or does he try to go fastball? It's one of those 2-2 counts where it's a critical pitch, but the fact that he throws so hard, both the fastball and the slider, he can throw either one now and come back with the same or the different one. 3-2 if it goes to that count. Yep, there it is.
And right on the outside corner, strike 3 call. So Piscotty with a big hit. RBI double. So we are on to the 4th inning. The A's are leading Chris Sale and the Red Sox 2-0. And Simeon. Sean Manaea has been very good. 5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. The only base runner was Betts to lead off walk. Well, then Benintendi reached on a fielder's choice. So quick 0-2.
Slider, then a changeup. The changeup a good one to the left, even though it was down and in, but really off the plate down and in.
And 2 pitches to the screen.
And you know, I've got a theory on down and in against left-handed hitters as a left-handed pitcher. Not often are left-handed hitters attacked down and in against a lefty. It's not something they see with a lot of frequency. So if you can command the baseball.
Simeon scoops it up behind the bag at second, throws in time.
Smart Play of the Day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. And Sean Manaea, he's looking for a good start for the big left-hander. He has been excellent so far. It is the second time through the batting order that he started right now. Actually, last inning with Betts, but good hard slider, good changeup, mixing all of his pitches, and it's a good fastball freeze on the left-handed hitter. But you know, Dallas, I agree with you, because you always think about guys are bailing, and you don't want anything left up. But if it's down and in, and they're bailing, they're not going to attack it. And I think Benintendi proved that with a changeup down and in. He couldn't do anything with it.
And you think about righties attacking lefties with the off-speed pitches, the curveballs or the sliders down towards the back foot against a lefty, and the lefty being able to just sort of drop that head, that nice smooth swing. That doesn't happen necessarily against a lefty. The arsenal has everything working away, soft and hard in.
Ramirez, a little pop-up, and it'll drop foul.
Did we see a close-up of Sean Maya's glove? It just said Sean 55. I mean, is he just a first name number guy?
He's gotten to the point in his career where he's just the first name. Cher, Madonna. Sean.
See if we can get another close-up of his glove, because I didn't see the last name on there. It just, okay, here we go. Does that just not say Sean? What does it say?
Sean 55.
Sean 50. Shawnee 55. That's a big man. You can do anything you want, especially a slider like that.
6 strikeouts for Manaea. He's got nasty stuff tonight.
Yes, he does.
Well, no doubt. We talk about him working that heater. Get ahead early with this heater, and he's able to go to the back foot slider against Hanley. Hanley coming up goose eggs. You see there, that red dot of death.
Shawnee 55. S-E-A-N-I 55.
Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
Come on, guys. Opponents average against the changeup and the slider. Last year 232, this year 133.
Yeah, that's why Scott Emerson was ecstatic after his start up in Seattle when he said, "What a changeup!" And it is. It's a great pitch that he can throw. And you look at Sale and his changeup and his slider and his fastball. You're looking at two pretty good lefties pitching tonight. Just like you said, a great matchup with two guys who are very good pitchers.
Well, it gives them 3 above average pitches.
Oh, absolutely.
Good swing there by J.D. Martinez, who struck out in the first. Martinez a hot hitter, so heads up.
Well, a little bit of pressure too. You think about his comments, ends up signing with the Red Sox to kind of, I guess, when Giancarlo standing up the Yankees. So this is kind of the comeback for the Red Sox. But he started the season 0-8, 0 for 8, and then of course has come on very strongly. So it's a good sign for him, because I think as Stanton has found out in New York, they know what they
yeah, and I think it's even more under a microscope if you sign as a free agent.
Exactly, because they know you expect to be the savior.
Exactly, and granted, it's going to be a big money contract. Right. A trade, I think there's still pressure, but that free agent thing. And Martinez strikes out.
That fastball.
Sean Manaea has been terrific in the early going. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings, and the A's leading it 2-0.
are available. Enjoy your summer in style. Visit athletics.com/season. And tonight, a lot of people enjoy a beautiful evening for baseball. Partial season tickets and get a chance to watch your team. And what, this team is not far away from postseason. And season ticket holder, you get a lot of benefits that work for you as well.
Out in front, the catcher Leon grabs it and fires to first. Chapman is out.
Chapman looking back almost like he didn't believe it was a fair ball, but doesn't matter where it hits. If it spins out into fair territory, it is a fair ball.
Number 28, Matt Olson.
Ball hit straight down by Matt Chapman. See if it goes straight down. And Leon let the ball spin. He didn't want it to spin back. Sometimes it does hit behind the plate. You can see the indentation, but it spins out in fair territory. And remember the game we had in New York where the ball was rolling down the first base line and Jorge Posada just let it roll, and it came right back. Yep. Fair territory. The batter quit running and turned out to be fair ball and an out.
1-1 the count to Olson, who grounded out in the second inning. Big shift down, at least on the infield. Down and away. Have we seen Olson try to bunt yet?
No.
Have not.
I don't think we have we?
No. Have not.
Are you going to yell at him and say bunt?
No, I mean, hey, we've had that conversation where occasionally it may not be a horrible idea, but I wouldn't do it a lot if I was Olson.
And that's a decision, I think, guys, especially a guy like Ole who's got the ability to drive the ball out of the yard. You've got to make that decision early, commit to it.
Yeah, it could be. How do you feel against the guy too? Are you not seeing him well? Is he obviously Sale's going to be tough on everybody?
I mean, hey, look, you got the shift in place the way it is. You got the left side open. If it's a situation of being given something and trying to take opportunities.
One sliced foul.
Cap, I think we're seeing a lot of Xfinity signs with Sales on the mound.
Oh yeah, we get you to 96 easy.
An easy 96. Yeah, that red Xfinity is popping up pretty consistently.
Strike right there.
Wow.
96 miles an hour.
This is tough here. You know, Matt Olson feels like he's had the bat taken out of his hand here.
Thank you.
And the man on the mound, Foss, he doesn't need any help. It's 96, 97 with wipeout action on the secondary offerings. And you can see Matt Olson here just not happy at all.
Well, he's shaking his head, and I agree with him. Because he took a pretty nasty pitch, and it was off the plate. And, yeah, certain pitchers do not need any help.
So 2 away, and Canna steps up.
But I've always felt there's one word in baseball that applies to certain people. It's called reputation. If your reputation is that you're a good pitcher, anything close, I think it's going to go to the pitcher. If you're a good hitter, it's close, it's going to go to you. And I think those around baseball, if you're in that category, I mean, I've seen it firsthand on both sides. Frank Robinson, when I was with the A's, strikes. I went back to Cleveland. Umpire said to me, "You're not with the A's anymore." Yep. I mean, it's very simple. But certain guys, many of the guys with the A's had the reputation of being around the plate for strikes.
Belted to right. Betts going back, and that one is off the top of the wall. And Mark Canna into second with a double.
This is raw horsepower versus raw horsepower here. 96, 97 in the upper part of the zone here. Canna gets the foot down on time, looking for the heater out over the heart of the plate. Strong individual is Mark. You give him something up in the zone, something he can offer out. He's going to handle it with authority. It's a good job driving this ball to the opposite field, just feet away from making this a 3-0 ball game.
Well, you know, saying that you play your way in the lineup and you see what has happened with Mark Canna and his success playing in center field, swinging the bat well. And he has been in there pretty consistently. He started last weekend in Seattle.
Pinder had a good swing, fouls it into the second level. Certainly an opportunity there in center field for the A's.
That's right.
Fouled straight back. So 0-2.
Time now for the Coors Light refreshing finish. Last year, how about this? May the 12th, Chad Pinder, monster home run, estimated 460 feet. That was against Noe Ramirez. And yes, it was against the Red Sox, and it was way deep. And in fact, Joe Castiglione reminded me, Pinder hit 3 home runs against the Red Sox last year.
See, Joe did his homework.
Yes, he
the
did.
Great Joe Castiglione.
Yeah. Cleveland night.
Longtime radio voice. Sale with the strikeout. A's get a double, and they strand Canna at second base. So we are headed to the 5th. Nunez, Devers, and Leon to hit. A's leading 2-0. Warriors Outsiders, and then it's Warriors Playoff Central before and after the game on Sunday. The home of the authentic Warriors fan is NBC Sports Bay Area, as the Warriors have a 3-0 lead over the Spurs, so they'll try to wrap up that series tomorrow in San Antonio. If they can do that, they will play the New Orleans Pelicans. Line drive, right field, right at Piscotty. So Nunez is retired. New Orleans swept Portland, so
Now batting,
Warriors
11, Rafael
try to
Devers.
finish off the Spurs, and that is who they would play next. One out, here's Devers. Devers struck out in the second. In the air, toward left. Pinder over, in, and he's got it. So 2 away. So if you have a special ticket tonight, you get one of those hats, which is obviously the Warriors colors and the A's logo. So not
Yeah, I had one.
Leon.
Fans are digging that.
Fat Bill, Jack wouldn't like because it's not it's adjustable.
Yep.
You got to have the original.
Yep.
The fitted one.
Yeah, have fitted. So you get the Warriors logo on the back, which is a good logo, and then you get the A's logo on the front, which is a good logo.
Yeah, and if I got to admit, Foss, we talked about it in full disclosure, that hat I had did make it home with myself, so I did get to wear that out and about. Got some nice compliments on it.
Really?
That's right.
Simeon out, and Marquez dropped it. He had it, he juggled, and it's that Roberta, the triangle out there.
Yeah. Well, the swing by Leon, of course. See if you can see in the screen. And Marquez kind of took the angle. He's not going to get to it anyway. It's got to be Simeon's ball, trying to catch the ball over his shoulder, reached up, and guess where it got in? The old heel of the glove, the hardest part of the glove. Of course, shortstop's gloves are smaller anyway. Reaching up blindly and trying to catch it. Could not. But got the ball back in quickly in case Leon was going to try for two.
Well, Ray, still no call. Seems like it should be hit, but it would be the first hit
That's
of the
right,
game,
E6,
and it's an
yeah.
E6.
Well, if it's the first, it's got to be that. They can't change it. There's the fans applauding that it was good on there, but
Strike right there, 0-2.
Sean Manaea continues to attack the zone early, often, continues to put this Red Sox lineup on the defensive.
So 0-2 to Jackie Bradley Jr. And that one squirts away from Lucroy. Back to the on-deck circle. So it's a wild pitch.
well, even though you call a slider, you want the hard slider. Sometimes it just keeps running to the point you cannot get to it, and that's exactly what happened with Jonathan Lucroy, who went out and tried to use his left arm as the ball kind of came in between his left arm and his body. See the look on Simeon, like, how could they give me an error on that? Tough play, but I think under the circumstances, it has to be a clean hit.
That right there, that's another great job by Luke. Getting every bit of him in front of that ball. We talk a lot about the confidence instilled in these young guys to be able to expand down with a guy like Lucroy behind the dish, and you can see there why. Just because it doesn't happen the first time, go ahead and double up. Same confidence level from Manaea.
2-2 to Bradley. That one's hit hard, and it's just foul.
That slider was left up, and that's why he was able to hit it as hard as he did. Last night, the pitch that was up ran back over the plate, hit a 3-run home run. And this, well, it looked like maybe the changeup, and it was up and in. Like the grip and the way the ball came out of Manaea's hand was not the slider away.
Off the plate, and now it's a full count.
It's a tough play when your back is to the infield, you're reaching up, and it's hard to. The ball's in front of you, you can put your glove up and it can go in the pocket or the webbing. When you're over your shoulders, it's going to just put your glove out. You hope it lands. If it had landed in the pocket, it's an out. It's the end of the glove, the hardest part, and it pops out.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is 8 strikeouts for Manaea, and Leon is stranded at second base. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Still 2-0 A's.
giveaway is presented by Comerica Bank. Plus, A's 50th anniversary season-long celebration continues with a special Swing and A's celebration dedicated to honoring this special team from the 70s. Make sure you grab your tickets to the special night at athletics.com/tickets.
2-0 the A's lead. Treehouse is going strong as we figured. Can't wait to do a game from out there. It's going to be fun. So Chris Sale back to work. He'll face Lucroy, Simeon, and Piscotty. This would tap. Left side, Devers charges, throws on the run. 1 out. Mariners and the Rangers are tied 1-1 in the third down in Arlington, and I want to say there was a little rain before that game. In fact, it did not start on time. They had a delay, but they are now playing. That's Paxton and Bartolo's Cologne.
Big sexy.
Big sexy. He's
like
the best.
Like the smell of that.
Oh, he's my favorite player ever.
Oh, he is.
So we'll keep an eye on that one.
Well, we know for sure if there's a rain delay or rain during the game, it's not going to affect Bart.
Yeah, I bet he was really worried about getting out of rhythm.
Big comfort zone guy.
Yeah. Simeon drives into left field. Benintendi back. He turns around, and that baby's gone. Have a night, Marcus Simeon. He scored all 3 A's runs. It's 3-0 Athletics. I think he pulled his hands in, guys.
You know how it goes. Heater in, short to it, long through it. You see there finishing with one hand on you. Do it to him, Simmy. He gets the heater in, and he knows he's got to be aggressive. Don't want any part of that secondary stuff. Simmy pulls the hands, delivers the head. Next stop, Pound Town.
And you know what? I mean, Marcus Simeon has taken a lot better swings in his career than that one.
Exactly.
But
right.
he's strong.
But there are times that he will release the hand, and he does it on this one, brings it in. And that's the one. And when you've got a pitcher providing 95-96, you just lay the bat on the ball. And he's still upset about the error.
I can't blame him.
You know, I would never think that a position player is hoping the pitcher gives up a true hit so they can erase the error. But Sean, I mean, it is the rule. Basically, it has to be a clean hit, and that clearly was not. I mean, makes the play. It's a remarkable play.
Piscotty strikes out for the second time, so 8 strikeouts now for Sale. So Sale has 8. Manaea has 8.
With the home run by Marcus Simeon, the A's went 1, 2, 3, 7 consecutive games with at least 1 home run. And were shut out last night, the long ball, but bring it back tonight.
So Lowry's retired. The A's get another run off Chris Sale. Marcus Simeon, his 2nd home run of the year. So we're on to the 6th inning from the Coliseum, and the A's leading 3-0. 3-0 A's lead. Sean Manaea. First pitch. Zue Lin is popped up right on top of the net near the A's dugout. So no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
Walked the leadoff batter, Mookie Betts, and that's it.
Lynn struck out looking in his first at bat, and he hooks one toward right. Piscotty's back, and he makes the catch. Pretty well hit ball. Piscotty's had a couple of line drives hit at him.
Now batting.
Outside of that, not a huge amount of hard contact against Manaea. So here's Mookie Betts. Betts has walked and he has grounded to second. This pitch is not close. Mookie Betts is 25 years old. He'll be 26 in October. 4th year in the big leagues. It's Simeon. Marcus flips it across. 2 away. And that'll bring up Benintendi.
Now batting.
Benintendi has reached on a fielder's choice, grounded to short. Speaking of age, Benintendi is only 23 years old.
Yeah.
As far as service time, this is his 2nd full year in the big leagues. Benintendi was the 7th overall pick in the 2015 draft. Spent very little time in the minor leagues. It's quickly 0-2. Sean Manaea is rocking and firing right now.
Well, you like the pitch count, of course. When you work quickly and you get results quickly, then pitch count can stay within reason.
Tapped slowly. Benintendi's pretty fast. Olsen has it, and did he tag him? No. And Olsen sees the ball just trickle out of his glove. And Benintendi is down. He slid hard, going right across the bag. Bob Melvin is coming out. So there's a lot going on right now.
Bob is asking, yeah. He did miss him.
Bennett.
How far did he go out? I mean, that's a long way to go out, and that's what they're questioning, because, you know, there is a path, but you cannot run so far. It's like going from first to second when you're running on the grass. You know, that's got to be the question Bob Melvin's asking. See how far he goes out on the grass to avoid the tag. And I guess the old saying, sometimes you create your own base path, but maybe the part in question is running down first base.
Well, just looking from the line down here, guys, you can tell. Take a look at the feet here. The inside leg of Benintendi. The left leg is on the grass.
Yeah.
One thing I think about is his ability to get to first base. Does that determine whether or not he is out of any sort of line established?
Well, now it's all 4 umpires. And I would guess the longer they talk, the better it is for the A's.
Yes.
Well, and the one thing, too, we're seeing more and more, and Bob Melvin talked about with the balk last Sunday. You had 4 umpires got together, and, you know, they said we want to get it right. Sean Manaea, Bob wants Sean to continue to throw because he is going to be facing Ramirez scheduled.
It was ruled a base hit.
Yeah.
And obviously, just from where they're standing, the best view is the home plate umpire and the first base umpire.
Yeah.
And in that case, I think the first base umpire he's watching a lot because he knows he's going to have to make some type of call as far as safe or out.
Yeah, he's going to Alex Cora. He's got to explain to him, so maybe that's definitely good news for the A's.
You got to like this. And guys, Brian Gorman actually just motioned to Benintendi here and told him you were out of the baseline. Benintendi is losing his mind over here at first base right now.
So the A's are running off the field. That's good news. Benintendi can't believe it. There's a conference going on over there with a couple of the infield, or a couple of the umpires, and Hunter Wendell said talking to Alex Cora. But it looks like they called him out.
Because he's running out on the base paths. He's running on the grass. See, right there is when it goes on the grass to avoid the tag.
What's been your favorite part of your party in this space?
You say the great food has
More, the Painter's Paint Store.
So an interesting play, and it goes. The call goes for the A's, as I guess the call was reversed. They never really said anything about that, but obviously they must have said he ran out of the baseline.
And there he does. That's right. With the left foot that goes out, the right foot follows, then he goes back towards the bag and touches it with his hand, and that's why he was a little bit slow getting up. But Olsen made every attempt, and I guess you could say if he stayed in the running path, or at least in the base line, he would have tagged him easily. I guess you could have been Adrian Beltre. He would have run to the dugout.
Benintendi had a conversation with Adrian Johnson, the first base umpire, and he wanted to know, well, what's the call?
Pep, do you think in this season for Alex Cora that he's had to argue a play because of the success they have had?
Lynn, the shortstop, long throw, and Ramirez digs it out. What a play. Zoe Lynn, that's a heck of a play. And they get Chris Davis.
Well, it goes to the slide of the outfield grass. Watch how quickly pops up and throws. Uses really the grass. He lets it go out in front. Short hop. Actually wasn't even in the dirt. My apologies. That was a strong throw. Great play by Lynn to get Chris Davis. Looked like he had a base hit, but the ball just kept carrying. And really, for Ramirez, he almost missed it. Did not hit the ground. So tremendous play by the young shortstop.
Here's Chapman, who rolls the first pitch foul. So 3-0 the A's lead. So maybe some excitement starting to build here with Red Sox all zeros on their line score. Inside corner strike, 1-2.
That's a good line from the A's standpoint. Chapman, 9 pitch count still great.
That one is hit very high to left. Benintendi at the wall, and that one is off the wall. Chapman trying for third, and he's going to make it. So Matt Chapman with a booming triple off the wall in left field. That could not have missed going out by much.
Not much at all. And the great thing that Matt Chapman does on this, he does not assume it's a home run. He's not putting the trot on because he gets to third base. Very important, especially with one out. And Benintendi thought he had a chance to catch it. But watch Matt Chapman run. He's looking, and here he goes. He may have thought it was going to be caught. Little twilight, maybe couldn't see the ball, but infield comes in.
Infield comes in with 3 infielders on the right side. Devers, the lone infielder, on the left side.
But remember the walk-off the other day, excuse me. Matty O delivers the big blow to left field here. They've got some openings on the left side. It's not to say that Matt Olson can't get around a pitch from Chris Sale, but it's also not to say that he won't cut his swing down, take what's given to him, and shoot something to the left side.
Shallow center. Bradley coming in. Bradley's got it. Chapman will not test him as Bradley shows off a very good arm right to his cutoff man, Ramirez. So that's the second out.
Song, give it Mark Cannon comes in. And as much as he channels his swing, they can play the whole song.
Yep. Nothing wrong with channeling a little Bob Dylan.
Now batting center fielder, number 20.
Got some numbers for you. Our
Canna.
Lowe's whole team together. Multi-hit game leaders in the American League. Lowry leads. Chapman second. Betts and Ramirez also tied with Chapman. 10 multi-hit games. Lowry tonight has a double.
Game number 21.
1-1 to Canna. A's need a 2-out hit. And that's blocked by Leone, and that saved a run. Chapman's triple was the 6th hit in the game for the A's off Sale. Sale at 92 pitches. 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. That 1 walk, though, was Simeon in the first, and he scored.
Yes, he did. Yep. And the amazing thing about it, he had a stolen base, had to go back to first. He stole first and then stole second again.
Yep. And that turned out to be a big stolen base.
Yes, it was. And heads up by Bob Melvin to alertly inform the umpires that maybe Benintendi did run out of the base paths, and they did overturn it because you clearly see Adrian Johnson, the first base umpire, calling Benintendi safe on the play. Melvin went out. Umpires conferred, ruled him out.
Two pitch to Canna. Devers charges. He's got it. He'll throw on the run. Side retired. A's get a triple by Chapman, but cannot get him home. So we are moving to the 7th. 3-0, and I mean nothing for the Red Sox.
Hanley, Ramirez.
So it'll be Ramirez, Martinez, and Nunez, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Red Sox. Red Sox coming into this game leading the American League in just about every offensive category, including the most important one, runs. But nothing tonight. First pitch to Hanley Ramirez, he was taking all the way, and it's outside. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts for Ramirez, both his strikeouts swinging. Swing and a miss.
And that is some serious movement, some serious action on that changeup, brought to you in part by the fastball arm speed from Sean Manaea.
Popped up foul. Interesting on Ramirez's contract, Ray. He needs 497 plate appearances. Not a bad plate appearances for his salary next year to be guaranteed at $22 million. I'm guessing the Red Sox don't want to pay him that.
Well, you know, it's interesting that Alex Score, the manager, was asked about that because of that contract that he has. His comment: if he plays well, he will play.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot for a manager.
Exactly. But you know, and so most managers don't want to know about contracts. And the bottom line, if Hanley Ramirez plays like he's capable, it's going to be a moot point because he is going to play because Alex Cora wants to win. The Red Sox want to win. But I think to your point about the J.D. Martinez signing, and if you have Mitch Moreland, you know, you kind of bottlenecked a little bit.
A little pop-up. Olsen going back into foul territory, and big Matt Olsen grabs it.
Fans, we have the only bobblehead that honors our city and one of the most successful movies in cinematic history. It's called Black Panther. Oakland A's and Marvel are proud to release a glow-in-the-dark Black Panther bobblehead in honor of Oakland and hometown director Ryan Coogler. Fans can snag this one-of-a-kind bobblehead Saturday, May the 5th. It's against the Orioles, brought to you by Comerica Bank. We want 15,000 fans. Get yours upon entering the ballpark. Visit athletics.com/promotions to grab your piece of Oakland history. Oakland history. You saw it, huh?
Yep. Good. Lots of fun. Pay attention, though. There's a lot going on. Couple of strikeouts for J.D. Martinez.
78 pitches, 1 out of the 7th.
And he lays off. 1-1 the count. Chapman to his left, throws in time, 2 outs. Yeah, that'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. The Red Sox have had 3 base runners. Betts a walk in the first, and then the very next hitter, Benintendi, reached on a fielder's choice, and then Sandy Leon reached on the air in the 5th inning. Benintendi was briefly at first base last inning.
Very briefly.
Very briefly. First pitch is right at the knees on the outside corner.
Sean Manaea continues to fill the zone up early and often. I mentioned putting this offense that's had a lot of success in this young season on the defensive, and that's exactly what he has done.
Nunez chased the ball, and now it's 0-2. So now the crowd's starting to make some noise. Pitch. 25,746 is the paid attendance tonight. Little pop-up. Manaea says, I got it. I'm an athlete. No problem.
He read the article.
Yeah. 7th inning stretch. Check out the box score. Check out the line score. 3-0 A's.
Here in the first inning after he had a leadoff walk, and then Marcus Semien with the bullet to left center field. It's going to be a base hit. How about this one? A one-handed solo home run. So Marcus Semien, 3 runs scored. He has a couple of hits and a walk. And probably would not mind being charged with an error if the game holds up the way
I think he'll be okay with that.
I think he'll be just fine. Because we'll know, Marcus, that it was a tough play, but under the circumstances, let's hope you are given the air.
Here's Pinder leading things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pinder has lined to center and struck out. Rangers leading the Mariners 5-3 in the 4th inning. Angels and the Giants tied 2-2 in the 6th. Astros won earlier today by a final score of 10-1 in Chicago. A couple of home runs for Josh Reddick. Fouled straight back. The only run the White Sox got, Ray, Trace Thompson with a home run. How about that?
That's great.
The White Sox scuffling. For the Astros, they're now 15-7. They've won 5 in a row. Fouled straight back. We'll be in Arlington, Texas, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3 night games against the Rangers. First trip down there.
Yep. And Houston to follow, both Texas teams. Same trip.
Right. We'll be in Houston next weekend. So a week in the great state of Texas. Lucroy to follow, and then Simeon. 100 pitches for Chris Sale. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Sale.
Well, they continue to battle with Pinder there. Pinder continues to fight off breaking ball after breaking ball. You see Sale here, goes to the well one more time. Looks like he tried to backdoor it, was able to get the swing and miss from Pinder anyway. That's a pitch he's been executing tonight, guys. Early in the count, bouncing it as well. Just not quite the same success that Sean Manaea's had.
Heath Hembry, big right-hander, starting to loosen up. One walk and 9 strikeouts for Sale. The most pitches Sale threw in any of his first 4 games was 93. Driven to right center. Betts hustling back, and Mookie Betts got a good jump. He's got good speed, and he tracks it down in deep right center field. He plays very, very shallow, and he plays shallow because he can do that right there.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus.
Jonathan Lucroy letting Chris Sale provide the power, but there's the speed. And we've talked about how if you can play shallow and you have the ability to go back on the ball, you're going to rob guys of a lot of hits. Because the hits in front, you're going to be able to get to, and the speed is going to allow you to go back quickly to bring the ball in, which you just showed. Well, Twilight, tough right now to see the ball.
One and one the count. Ray just showed you the Marcus Simeon evening walk, single homer. And now 1 and 2. Sale trying to finish strong. A run in the first, a run in the third, and a run in the 5th. Sale did not mess around either.
And Cap, we've seen pitchers, and there's one particular now in the National League, but happy with 10 strikeouts. Sale doesn't care about strikeouts. He wants W's. He wants the team to win, and you know, especially with the streak they're on right now. Last thing on his mind is anything individually.
And the Red Sox sitting on an 8-game winning streak.
The out-of-town scoreboard shows that one of the biggest competitors in the East, the Yankees, won.
So Simeon strikes out, and that's a 10 strikeout game for Chris Sale. 8th inning coming up. 3-0 A's.
is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Seven innings, no hits allowed for Sean Manaea. And we have reached the 8th inning. Devers, Leone, Bradley. 85 pitches for Manaea.
Thing is, Cap, you don't want the Red Sox to get a hit, because if they do, who knows how they will take that hit and try to make a lot out of it.
Yeah, and they're that scary offensively.
Well, they are, and you know, 3 runs. We saw last night when the A's scored 3 in the first inning, and next inning was a tie game.
So 1-2 to Devers, who has struck out and hit a fly ball to left field. Well down and into Devers. Strike 3 called. Devers knew it. He slams his bat down, and that is strikeout number 9.
Well, it all starts with the best pitch in baseball, and that's strike 1. We talk about forcing the action and put this lineup on the defensive, and that's exactly what Manaea has done by working ahead early with the fastball, expanding with the breaking ball, and he turns old Devers into a window shopper.
So of the 9 strikeouts, that's the 2nd strikeout looking. And the first pitch to Leone drops in for a strike. Popped up. Right side, right to Olsen. Got it. 2 outs.
Great changeup. Kind of look at the pitch count. 91st pitch, a great changeup, and Leone way out in front just threw his bat at the ball, almost like it was a 2-strike pitch. Instead, it was 0-1. That's how fooled, how badly he was fooled, and really could not do anything with it. Body went forward with the bat.
So here's Jackie Bradley Jr. First pitch is outside to Bradley, who has struck out twice, both times swinging. And that one hung. That's a pitch that Sean Manaea, I'm going to say, let's not throw that one again.
Yeah, it's been few and far between all night, so yeah, no reason to try and do it again, because you may not get away with it tonight. In this way this is going, yeah, you might get away with it.
Good fastball there, right in on the hands, and you see Bradley get jammed, foul it back. So now it's 1-2. And some of the crowd rises to its feet. Manaea looking in. Got him swinging. 10 strikeouts for Sean Manaea. No hits for the Red Sox through 8 innings. What is happening in Oakland? Bottom of the 8th coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Oakland Athletics
0. The A's have 3 runs. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Dallas Braden is downstairs.
It's looking
That's
good,
your
guys.
that's your game summary. I think it's important to keep it simple right now, Dallas.
Hey,
I concur.
So Heath Hembry takes over. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. So Hembry comes in. Sale is done for the night, and Manaea waits.
Sean having a little snack. He can do whatever he wants to do. Tyson Ross had a, last night threw 7
To the 8th inning.
Yeah, so good to see his comeback, especially having arm problems. Tyson Ross from Oakland.
So 1-1 the count to Piscotty.
That's amazing. Both pitchers tonight walked the leadoff batter. The only difference, Sean Manaea got out of the inning striking out a couple, and it was the A's scoring a run thanks to Jed Lowry, the very hot Jed Lowry's RBI double, following the stolen base by Semien.
So 2-1. Sale goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. That one grounded off Hembry. He scrambles after it, flips to first in time.
That time now for the Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. And how about an E6? Now, there's no hits in this game, and Marcus Semien, a very tough play, hits the ball off the heel of the glove. And the official score says E6 because there had not been a hit. And here's another one. Drilled safe by Adrian Johnson. Bob Melvin quickly out and say, wait a minute, did he go out of the baseline? And the umpires, all 4, got together. And when Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire, started walking towards the Boston Red Sox dugout, we knew it was good news for the A's. Because Alex Corey had to have the explanation. It was given, and those are the only 2. And had Benintendi's not been overturned, that would have been a hit because he was not tagged by Olsen.
1-0 pitch to Lowry, and he swung over top. 1-1. So Davis to follow. Dallas Braden, you've been in this spot before. What was going through your mind, and what do you think's going through Manaea's mind?
Well, I think he's probably focused on the next 3 hitters he has to worry about. I think that's the game plan he's taken with him.
Hembry, more action. He throws to first.
And I think that's the most important part of the process for Sean right now, is to not let any sort of outside disturbances or outside turbulence factor into the game plan he has executed up until this point. There's still a W out there to have for the ball club. You've got to focus to maintain.
Well, everybody knew coming to this series it was going to be Pomerantz, maybe the opportunity, because he's just coming off the DL. The A's got 3 runs in the first inning. Red Sox came back, and they knew it was going to be tough tonight, tough tomorrow, with 2 of the best in the game, 2 former Cy Young Award winners.
That one is drilled toward the right field corner. Fair. One ups the wall. Chris Davis hustling for second, and he's got a 2-out double.
And there's your swing, Cat, right there. Just what you're talking about.
Well, Boss, you mention it all the time how strong KD is, his ability. Even if that front side does vacate early, he's so strong. Anything left out over the plate, he can deliver with authority to the opposite field. As you see here, it's a stand-up double for KD.
So 6th double of the year for Chris Davis. And the A's, hey, nothing wrong with throwing up an insurance run.
Or more. Just don't want to make it too long, because remember Daniel Mingden, his last start, first win at the Coliseum, had a long inning against the White Sox in the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, tonight gave up the home run to Abreu. He'll be pitching tomorrow in the series finale. As the A's can hang on tonight, they'll try to win the series tomorrow against the Red Sox. David Price and Mingden. Another good pitching matchup.
Oh, Chapman.
Wow.
He's back out of the way. Actually ducks down.
Fortunate. Man, that ball was right at his head.
Chapman triple in the 6th, was stranded. Top of the 9th, it'll be Lynn. He's the 9th place hitter. Betts, Benintendi on the bench for the Red Sox. Holt, Moreland, left-handed hitters. Vasquez, right-handed hitter. Swihart, switch hitter. So those are the options for Alex Cora if he wanted to pinch hit for Zoe Lynn, who is leading things off. We'll see what Alex Cora does.
Swihart has the bat. And it looks like he might be pinch hitting being a switch hitter. How about a green light turn on Matt Chapman? That ball in his head. If he lay off the high fastball, drive it, or no
Not
chance.
close.
Not even close. Four pitches, all very consistently out of the strike zone.
Now batting first baseman.
So here's Olson.
Matt Olson.
Olson is 0 for 3. That misses. Oh, Hembree got the first 2 outs quickly, but then the double to Davis, a 4-pitch walk to Chapman.
Four fastballs up and out of the strike zone, high, and then the first pitch slider, at least trying to get him down in the strike zone. Overcompensated in the dirt. Another slider.
'Tense moments at the Coliseum for a couple different reasons.
Well, the good thing for Bob Melvin, doesn't have to worry about pitch count for Sean Manaea. He's been very efficient all night.
That's a fair ball. Ramirez flips. Hembree keeps his foot on the bag. Side retired. So the A's threaten, but they do not score here in the bottom of the 8th. So they will take a 3-0 lead into the 9th inning. And this crowd tonight, again, 25,746. They rise to their feet. They have a chance to see something that hasn't happened by an Athletic since 2010. Our good friend downstairs, Dallas Braden. These are Oakland Athletics history. No hitters. Of course, Jim Catfish Hunter did it in '68. Vida in '70, then Vida and some friends in '75. Mike Warren in '83. Dave Stewart against the Blue Jays in Toronto in 1990, and then the perfect game by Dallas Braden in 2010. So can Sean Manaea join that list? Let's hope so. We got our fingers crossed, but it was the perfect game for Dallas Braden, so he knows exactly
Who is that guy?
Sean Manaea is going through. With Pennington, no problem. And that was a good day.
How about Peggy Lindsay's grandmother coming down? She's down in Southern California. Dallas Braden with a perfecto. And that guy who said, Dallas told get off my mound, and that guy said, who's that? Just, you know, well, all of a sudden Dallas Braden pitches a perfect game. By the way, that Vida Blue and others, there were 2 catchers in that too. Gene Timmons 5, Ray Fosse 4, and 4 pitchers tuning up for the postseason.
I like it. The Boston Red Sox have not been no-hit since 1993 by Chris Bosio. So not only is that a long time, but let's not forget, this is the best offensive team in baseball in the early going of this season.
And that was a Chris Bosio no-hitter with Omar Vizquel catching the last ball barehanded and throwing out the run.
No problem. Blake Swihart, who's a switch hitter, is going to pinch hit for Lynn. First pitch, foul right at the plate. So the crowd is now into it. And that includes Red Sox fans because they do not want their team to be no-hit.
Well, then back in Boston, you know, there are a lot of people watching this game. It's 11:20 or so back in Boston.
Grounded to short. Simeon has it. Throws to first. Got him. 1 out.
Simeon staying smooth as silk over there over in the 6 hole. Does a great job of bringing it up into the body, cradling it nice and softly. Strong throw over to Ole. 1 down.
The biggest batters right now, because if it stays the same with Benintendi, the left-hander in the on-deck circle, that could benefit Sean Manaea. So Mookie Betts probably, and nothing against Benintendi, but it's lefty on righty, and a lot of adrenaline.
First pitch to Betts. Driven to right field. Piscotty's back. Piscotty's got room. 2 away.
Thank you, Oakland, because that ball might have been knocked down. I wouldn't take a chance tomorrow with that shot. But a good
Mookie did
swing.
not wait around.
No, he did not. First pitch hitting.
Yeah, he hit that ball pretty well.
Yes, he did, and left his bat. Thought it might have a chance to at least get the wall, but the guy's been busy in right field tonight. This one at the warning track. So 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
So here's Benintendi, lefty on lefty. 98 pitches for Sean Manaea. First pitch, fastball inside to Benintendi, who is 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
2016, remember it was Kendall Graveman's 98-pitch shutout against the White Sox. Not a no-hitter though.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Over 25,000 on their feet at the Coliseum. Strike on the outside corner, and now the count is 1-2.
And you can't tell me the Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire, does not want to be a part of this. And this place is rocking.
Manaea looks in, kicks, and deals. Foul back toward the far end of the A's dugout. One-two pitch. Just a bit outside. Good take by Benintendi.
That slider is thrown slowly enough that Benintendi able to hold up his swing. John Manaea is taking more deep breaths in this half inning. We've seen him all year.
2-2 pitch in the dirt, and now the count runs full 3-2.
Trying to get him to chase a slider. He has yet to do that since getting 2 strikes. Throw another one. Throw it hard. Throw it right down the middle of the plate. Try to get him to chase. Thinking it's going to be a fastball. He's not pitching for a perfect game, so he can do what he wants to do with this pitch.
Payoff pitch. Here it is. And it's high. So now it's going to be Hanley Ramirez. So you can start over with Ramirez.
Yeah. See, that's at least when Dallas pitched his perfect game. You're talking 27, and no room for error. There were a bunch of long at bats, but
13,
with the perfect game out of it, and they talking about it because the first batter. And they're going to hold him at first base, and that's why Jonathan Lucroy looked to the dugout with Benintendi at first. They are holding him. Ramirez is aggressive. He does not wait around.
Manaea delivers low.
They got 5 left.
Yeah. They haven't needed any tonight.
No, they haven't. But if you definitely need one now, you might as well just a little breather, because Sean taking the deep breath. He knows everything that's going on, which be surprised if he didn't know it.
Ramirez 0 for 3. Waits 1-0 pitch. A little bit high. 2-0. Changeup 81 miles an hour. Pitch.
Grounded to short. Scooped up by Simeon. It's a no-hitter. It's a no-hitter. Sean Manaea has no-hit the hottest team in baseball. An absolutely sensational performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Manaea has no-hit the Red Sox.
The 7th no-hitter in Oakland A's history, and it belongs to Sean Manaea. So Dallas Braden will slide over, make room for another lefty, number 55, Sean Manaea. What a night, Ray Fosse.
You know, it's so fitting that Sean Manaea, who has been one of the mainstays of this ball club, to be able to do something special tonight, and to see him take the deep breaths in the 9th inning, because he's never been there. He's never been on the mound like that. And to be able to keep the pitch count down, to get quick outs. And this is the 5th game he started, Kai. Every game has been below 3 hours in the total time. Everything has been perfect. And tonight, he has been outstanding. And Michael Zegaris right there. But this is it. And just like Dallas Braden's perfect game, ground ball to short. This was a force at second. Jonathan Lucroy, and you cannot take away the job he did tonight, because Sean Manaea seemed to go with him on every pitch he called. And there is the final out. And Jed Lowry, keep the baseball, hopefully for Sean Manaea, the final out of a very, very big night for Sean Manaea. And Cap, you said it best, the best hitting team in baseball.
Yep.
This is their first loss like this. I mean, they lost the first game of the season. They've lost one other, and then tonight. And Sean Manaea was as good probably as anybody they have faced in a long time.
108 pitches for Sean Manaea. That's what he needed to no-hit the Boston Red Sox, the team that had led, or still leading, all of baseball in runs scored. So man, what a night, what a night. And you know what, there was not a lot of hard hit balls against him. I think the Betts ball with one out in the 9th inning was probably the best hit ball of the night, don't you think?
Unfortunately, it's nighttime, because the air started to get a little bit heavy, and when it's nighttime at the Coliseum, the ball does not travel. When it left his bat, it was pretty well hit, but at least kept in the park.
All right, it's a no-hitter club downstairs. Dallas Braden is with the star of the game. Dallas, take it away.
That's right, guys. I am with the man of the hour, Sean Manaea, Mr. No-No himself. Sean, you've got 25,000, 30,000 plus people on their feet chanting and cheering. What is going through your head at the beginning of the 9th inning?
Oh man, I was my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was trying to do everything I could.
That's the no-hitter hat. How's that fit?
It fits perfectly.
You know it does, buddy. You know it does. As far as energy is concerned, what were you feeling? What were you trying to do to temper your energy and your nerves?
I just kept telling myself, keep everything the same and not let anything get too big for me. And, that really helped me out and took a couple deep breaths. And, the rest was, leaving up to defense and Luke.
Congratulations, my man. Get out of my face. Get upstairs with the boys and go clap hands, baby. Sean Manaea, folks.
All right, so what can we say? Congratulations to the big left-hander. Not only a very talented young man, but one of the nicest young fellows you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
So
take the hat off. I mean, that's a nice hat. But, you would like to think that on the night when you pitch a no-hitter, you don't need to have anything poured on your head. You can enjoy it, but, I mean, Sean Manaea, you're right, is the nicest guy in the world. He would accept everything that happened to him tonight. But I don't think you're going to find a better pitching performance. What was the time? 216?
216 was
108 pitches. And in every game, he's been efficient. He's throwing strikes. And I think tonight, again, we'll find out when he talks a lot tonight, how much, if he ever shook off Jonathan Lucroy. Because you can see Jonathan Lucroy tonight jumping around behind the plate, calling pitches, and a lot of that works hand in hand with the pitcher who has the success and a night that Sean Manaea had tonight. So quite a performance by the left-hander.
Yep, so the 7th time a no-hitter has been thrown in Oakland A's history, the 15th time in franchise history, and this one belongs to the left-hander, Sean Manaea. So, boy, what a night. A lot of fun, but we're not done yet. We're going to come back and talk more about the Manaea no-hitter over the Boston Red Sox, and that is the final out of Sean Manaea's no-hitter tonight in front of 25,746. When we come back, we'll talk more about tonight and get you ready for tomorrow. But, boy, what a night. What a night for Sean Manaea.